We want to talk about how Raelynn has COVID. We don't know how this is going to go. Good morning, sunshine. I don't know what I'm feeling. So we got Raelynn all ready for school, but then we got a call from the doctor, and she's not going to school today because she has COVID. Abby and I have talked about this many times, and Raelynn has respiratory issues, so we're concerned about that. But otherwise, Raelynn is fairly healthy. She's a child, and children usually do a lot better with COVID than older people. But do keep her in prayer. We don't know how this is going to go.
I kind of wondered if it was going to come back positive, because I think I had COVID.
Oh, that's what I was telling Amber. I kind of wonder if we all did.
Raelynn had to get a COVID test on Monday for a procedure she was supposed to have tomorrow, and they just called us and told us it was positive. Yes, so she has no symptoms really, and my husband and I are both vaccinated, and I had what I thought was a cold like a couple weeks ago, so my guess is she's probably on the tail end of this, and just, you know, like I think the Delta variant the vaccine's not very good against. So that said, I don't know. I said, how long do we need to be quarantined? And she said I need to call our regular doctor, but I'm sure we're not allowed to come today. So yeah, the 13th, 14th, and 15th, I was sick. I'm guessing that was COVID, and I gave it to her. Is it possible they'll let her take a COVID test like on Monday, August 2nd, and if it's negative, or on Sunday, August 1st, if it's negative, then she can go to stuff? Does it work like that? Like, how does COVID work? Do you get negative tests? Does it take a long time to get a negative test, or usually once you're better, you get a negative test? Okay. I'm gonna call our pediatrician then next, and I'm gonna see if he'll order a test. And if there's any chance they would do Botox the 5th or 6th if she got a negative test, like, she really needs it bad. Okay, just send me a text, because I'm gonna be on the phone for a while. I'm making phone calls right now. I will keep trying to get a hold of someone at camp so you guys can know that information and tell us if you want us to come get Emily or not. I think she was maybe a little more congested this last week, but as far as like, does she have obvious symptoms? No. Okay, so for our county, Raelynn needs to stay away from people through August 9th. I can just call them, but and then they would tell me like our quarantine dates or whatnot. Okay, Montgomery County won't let her go back to school.
But ultimately, because she's going to go under sedation, it's really up to our anesthesia team.
If they think she can.
And things like that, yeah, they have to be the ones that make the call if they would allow the procedure to go through or not.
So,
even with a new negative COVID test.
Like, I'm looking at 3 different dates that it's like, wow, it would help if we were negative by the 3rd so she could go to her hip appointment, or it would help if we were negative by the 4th so she could go to her speech appointment, or would help if we were negative before whenever anesthesia would be willing to do that procedure.
So that's why we recommended that you called her pediatrician. Did they provide any
so yeah, the pediatrician said so just per our county's protocol, she needs to be quarantined for the next 2 weeks. And I said to her county, I said, well, what if she gets a negative COVID test? Like, last I heard, that doesn't count. Well, that's what our pediatrician's office said. She said, you can call the county and check, but that doesn't count, I don't think. I said, okay, but maybe it's different for St. Louis Children's Hospital. And she said, yeah, to call you guys and see what your rules were. Like, summer school, she can't go to.
I highly doubt that it is. So I have to double check and see what those new protocols are, as they just came out for us on Monday. So
all right.
Let me check in with my higher-ups and see what they say about it, and then I can give you a call back.
Thank you so much. If I don't answer, leave me a message. I've got a lot of phone calls going on now because of this. So.
Sure, no, I understand. All right, well, we'll talk soon then, okay?
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Raelynn, how do you feel? How do you feel? You've been feeling pretty good, haven't you? You've been smiling. You haven't been extra gunky. Not these last few days anyway, maybe like a week or two ago. Yeah, you've been feeling okay. You have COVID, you little stinker. You have COVID. I think you'll be just fine, though. I think you'll be just fine. So I'm on the way to pick up our second youngest daughter from camp. She went to younger girls' summer camp on Monday. And we've been talking to them off and on all morning. And they decided, even though Emily doesn't have any symptoms of COVID, it's just more safe for her to come home. I'm hoping Emily's not super sad. I'm sad for her. I know she was looking forward to camp a lot. But she got to spend a couple days there. I hope she had a lot of fun. I hope she's not too sad. That's the world we live in right now with COVID.
Falling out of touch with your phone. And you said that you'd want this from me. I'm tired of all the things that you leave me close. I'm falling.
Alright, let's clean that oily face, Raelynn. Let's clean that oily face. There you go. How's that? You look great. Yep. You look beautiful.
You gonna look at the videos? You gonna participate?
There we go. So, we want to talk about how Raelynn has COVID and what that means for her and what that means for our family. So first, we probably should talk about what concerns we have for her health-wise.
How we know she has COVID.
Sure.
Okay, we know Raelynn has COVID because Monday she had to get a COVID test so she could have a procedure on Thursday that required anesthesia. So Wednesday morning they called us and said, hey, did anyone tell you about your COVID test results? Raelynn's positive. We need to cancel her procedure Thursday. So that's how we found out Raelynn has COVID, not because she has any symptoms.
So as far as her health, we think that she probably has had COVID for at least a week or two, and she's actually coming out of it rather than going into it.
That's what we hope.
As far as the time frame of
other people in our family getting colds and stuff.
Right. So health-wise, actually, COVID doesn't seem to have affected her. If she's ending it. Bless you, Raelynn.
Last week she was like a little more congested than normal, but not extremely. I mean, we didn't do too much different. I think we might have put the pulse ox on her a few nights last week, but she didn't need oxygen ever. So
if she's on the tail end of things, then actually everything's okay.
We're really happy, actually, because, I mean, the bad parts of this are her procedure she was supposed to have today. Today's Thursday. Got delayed almost a month. And that's the bad part. And she had speech appointments that are getting canceled, other doctor's appointments. So that's the bad part. The good part is she has immunities to COVID now, hopefully. So going into the fall school year, we don't have to worry. Like, we know she built immunity up. She had an asymptomatic case. We can stop worrying about her getting infected.
Now, if, however, she's just now starting COVID, we have more concerns. Like,
because it could get bad.
Right, because she has respiratory problems, and COVID is a respiratory type disease, illness. What do they call it?
Oh.
Infection, whatever it is.
Virus.
Virus. the Chinese virus from China.
Cut that out.
So if she's just now starting COVID, then we'll
find out.
Obviously, we'll find out. But if the last few days are indicative, even if she's starting COVID, of how it's going to go, then she's doing okay.
Yeah, we're good.
We're not worried.
Mm-hmm. It really, in the long run, is going to save us a lot of quarantine time because we were not sure about going all kinds of places once Delta numbers started going up. So.
Right. Now, as far as like how it affects our family and our plans, that's another story. She's had to cancel lots of doctor's appointments.
Lots of appointments.
How many phone calls did you have?
So, I think I counted 43 incoming or outgoing calls on my phone yesterday. Now, some of those are like, I'm trying to call Walgreens. I see the doctor's office is calling on the other line, so I click over and answer. That's 2 phone calls, but it was only 1, but it shows up as 2 on my phone.
Sure.
Or like, I was talking on the phone with a contact tracer for 40 minutes. I think I missed 3 calls during that time, so that 40 minutes looks like 4 phone calls, but it was only 1. But 43 ingoing. It was all day long.
Abby had a great idea. Sometime we need to make a video of how many phone calls Raylan
That's a record.
sometimes has in a day.
I've spent hours on phone calls, way more than once. I've made 10 phone calls over the course of 2 weeks about the exact same thing, trying to get it sorted out. But this was a record for the most phone time in a day because of Raelynn.
Yeah, and we have a lot of other people who are medical families who watch as well. So if you can beat that record of 43 phone calls
they
in
might
a
be
day,
able to.
leave a comment. Let us know how many phone calls you've had in one day.
We
for
have
your child.
one. I really like this doctor, but I don't even know how many times this one doctor called us yesterday. So her procedure today that she was supposed to have was Botox and ethanol injections, which help like her relax her muscles, and she's way overdue for that. She's been in pain. We're really hoping to get that before vacation. And then they called us, so she's positive for COVID. We have to cancel this, and our rules are you have to wait 28 days before she's allowed to be in the procedure room again. So I called her. Doctor is supposed to do this. I'm like, we're going to need some sort of pain meds to get us through the next 28 days beyond Tylenol. He's an amazing doctor, really, really caring, really, really thorough. But I don't know how many phone calls I had with him yesterday. Like, not because I was calling him, because he calls when he thinks of a thing to mention it. And
that's a good doctor, though, whenever they call you,
like,
instead of you having to try to track them down.
I would love if all of her doctors were like him. He's one of my favorites. But, like, I'm trying to make a phone call. Oh, there's a doctor's office, and then it's him again and again and again. But, so we just tried that. We just got that medicine yesterday. You can put the word up there if you want, because I don't know how to say it. Tizidine. I'm sure that's wrong. Tenazidine. I don't know what it is.
Look it up.
You can put the, but it's a muscle relaxer, and it's helping a lot. It's helping her a lot. So we're happy about that. You like your meds? Are you listening? So that's a really good thing. Like, I'm glad we have that in our arsenal now.
Yeah. One last thing we should probably talk about is that's our family vacation coming up. So I was concerned, I don't know if you were at all, but concerned that her having COVID and possibly other people in our family having COVID would affect our vacation, which starts the middle of August.
It's possible. So if any of our family gets cold symptoms between now and then, we would have to test for COVID, and we could have to cancel or postpone our vacation. But I had this cold 2.5 weeks ago. I don't remember. I mean, I know the dates. I don't know how many days it is ago. About 2.5 weeks ago. I think I gave it to her, so I think I had it, even though we're vaccinated. You thought you had minor
It was really
cold
mild,
symptoms.
yeah.
We know Amber did. We know Corey did. Emily's like, my throat was a little scratchy. So we're really, really hopeful that all of us got it and she's the last one.
Yeah.
Because that means the chances of someone else getting sick in the next 10 days is small.
Yeah.
But yeah, if one of us gets sick in the next 10 days, we'll have to test for COVID and vacation would get canceled.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I will be sad if it happens.
I think we'll be okay. I think the time frame will work out just fine. So keep Raelynn in prayer about COVID. I think she'll be fine, but we would appreciate extra prayers.
What do you think, Raelynn? How you feel? Say, I feel fine. I feel just fine. You ready for bed, sweetie? Okay. I'll get you in bed. There you go. Night night, sweetie. Good night.